Hey everyone, my name is Chiweta, and the institution that I'll be analyzing for this project is pharmaceutical companies, specifically Pfizer. I'm choosing Pfizer because it's one of the major multinational pharmaceutical companies and has contributed to a lot of drugs and a lot of vaccines that we may or may not take in our lifetime. We all know what a pharmacy is. Sometimes we go in there to get our prescriptions. Sometimes we go in there to ask the technicians questions. Whenever we go to the hospital, we can get prescribed medicine and have to go pick it up at a pharmacy. Nowadays, we may see an over-reliance on opioid painkillers. If your head is hurting, pop a Tylenol. If you're sick, pop an Advil. If you can't focus, pop an Adderall. This over-reliance on opioid painkillers are actually making pharmaceutical companies a lot of money, but damaging the community. For some history, let's trace back to the late 1990s, where there's a push for addressing pain more heavily through opioid painkillers. This caused a spike in opioid-related overdoses. Imagine walking into an office with some pain and you're prescribed Oxycontin. This is extremely powerful opioid. You're taking the dosage that you were supposed to be taking the dosage that you were prescribed, and before you know it, this potent substance has led to the start of an addiction. My major issue and/or topic that I'm analyzing is pharmaceutical companies and their role in the perpetuation of drug abuse. There are four major reasons that I chose to address this struggle. One, the public health impact and addressing the root causes. The major root cause being money. Two, policy reform. Three, disproportionate impact on vulnerable communities such as BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And fourth, the outcomes desired by the pharmaceutical companies versus the damage done to the communities. In this map that I've created, you can see how pharmaceutical companies affect almost every aspect of our life. In my map, I focus on four major topics: industrial processes, healthcare, initiatives, and stakeholders. With industrial processes, I mentioned the FDA. I put question marks next to motivation and side effects. Based on my research, it seems like the FDA sometimes overlooks certain things that can actually protect our healthcare. So is their motivation exactly aligned with their purpose? Next, I did healthcare, just simply talking about prevention, treatment plans, and how the marketing of these opioid substances can be seen through news articles. What if these news articles have a different agenda and it's promoted under bias, which convinces different audiences? Then I went on to initiatives, money being one of them, of course. With technology, we have online pharmacies and care centers that are easily accessible to everyone. Then the stakeholders, which are medical professionals, healthcare organizations, and these institutions help big pharma or pharmaceutical companies such as Pfizer make more and more money. The four stakes that I will be analyzing, which was said earlier, all tie into the overarching theme of this class, which is inequality, power, and privilege analyzed within these social institutions. Looking at the framework gives us all the answers. These are some of the articles that I've used to help my research. Each of these articles provide a different perspective on how pharmaceutical companies perpetuate the cycle of drug abuse. Through my research of all these pharmaceutical companies, I've actually learned quite a bit of things. The major thing that I've learned is that the FDA has actually done their own research on heavily marketed opioids. Some partners in the FDA has chosen to overlook the damages of these opioids in our community. Another thing that I've learned is that the unlawful marketing of opioid substances has actually been taken to court. People that have suffered so much through this cycle of drug abuse has tried to get legal accountability of companies that supply opioids to the prescription market. There's a whole list of court cases that has been done and tried. The main thing that I'm struggling with in my research is my topic of choice. My main topic is analyzing pharmaceutical companies' roles in the perpetuation of drug abuse. But through reading these articles and searching more things up, so many topics has come about. And I'm feeling like my main issue is becoming too broad. I feel like there's just so many things I want to talk about, and I don't know how to dial it down to one specific issue. If anyone could actually help me out with maybe an outline of what my research should entail, first paragraph maybe talking about court cases, second paragraph maybe talking about which communities have been affected, something like that. I feel like that would lead me in the right direction. There's just so much I want to talk about within this issue that I don't really know how to make it all make sense.